me about Mr. Taylor?
His sexiness.
I love talking about piano, and I really like how he is very hardworking with his students, and he tries his best to make the best math team that we can have, and dealing with all of our students in math team every morning.
My favorite thing about Mr. Taylor is how willing he's to spend so much time with the students, and for like a lot of after-school activities and organizing all these events.
I like his hair, I guess.
His sarcastic comments to Shirley.
Well, he's more like a friend than like a teacher, and so I like that he has a different relationship with us. Like, we see him we're not like scared of him, or we're not like intimidated by him, but we like treat each other like we're really good friends, and yeah, that's my favorite thing about him.
I think my favorite thing about Mr. Taylor is how clear it is that he's willing to put in as much effort as it takes to help each of his students. And I mean, I was in his class for hours a day for 2 years straight. It was just very clear to me that he cared about all of his students and that he was willing to do pretty much anything for any of us, which means a lot to me.
How has Mr. Taylor impacted you?
Honestly, he's one of the teachers that I look up to the most and trust the most. He's the one that I feel like I know the best and that knows me the best during high school, and he's really helped me like throughout high school.
He's taught me the difference of how, like, as important as things seem at the time, later on they probably won't be as important as you think they are.
He was the first teacher who was like really welcoming and nice to me when I first moved here. So it really helped me transition to life here at Vestavia.
We're going to the Rocket Cities, and Mr. Taylor held up his hands and he's like, "Ooh, the Rocket Cities."
The way Mr. Taylor waved my hand, that made during my 9th grade year.
Trip to Stanford.
Meoff Data Nationals, when we were in Orlando, there was a sponsor who came out and was standing in front of our room and got really mad because one of our students was out in the hall, even though we were actually practicing for the next day's tests. And she got so worked up that she went up to Mr. Taylor, knocked on Mr. Taylor's door, and he came out. And she started kind of scolding him and telling him to put us in our place. And while she was doing this, he was on his phone texting me in the room saying, "I cannot believe she's telling me this." Yeah.
His peppiness. He's probably the peppiest teacher I've ever had, and his guiding hand will always be something I'll remember as a math team teacher and as a regular math teacher, and just a friend, good friend.
Probably being in his class, because his class was always really fun. It was always a different class compared to what a lot of people's math classes were. So it was always fun.
Walking around in his classroom and doing the problems for other people.
Almost everything, you know? Mr. Taylor's just so awesome and inspiring. So, yeah.
Just overall, he's a really awesome guy, so everything pretty much.
Bye, Mr. Taylor.